Berg, have you seen the Black Pearl?
What are you even talking about?
The Black Pearl is only the fastest ship to ever sail the seven seas.
Are you okay?
Of course I am. Didn't you know I'm a pirate?
No. You're an engineering student.
Well, I'm a pirate at heart.
Anyway, how does the Black Pearl even work?
Well, you see, you set the sails and you grab the helmsman.
No. How does it stay afloat?
Oh. Hello science lovers, my name is Hayden Burkholder and welcome back to another episode of 300 Seconds of Science. With it being a brand new year, I know exactly what's on your mind. Boats. Alright, maybe not, but that's what we're going to talk about today. Boats have been dated back to 6000 BCE. They were mostly small canoes and rafts, but revolutionary at the time. It opened up a whole new form of transportation that has greatly impacted our world. The Egyptians were the first to be credited with the invention of boats, even though they'd most likely been around longer. These original boats were actually crafted from the papyrus plant. As time went on, they actually constructed cargo ships that could hold up to 1,000 pounds. This was crazy at the time and explains how Egypt was able to build the pyramids. Not exactly the flying saucer that was speculated to have moved them. Now let's move forward a few thousand years to the late 1400s. In 1492, Christopher Columbus stumbled upon the Americas, a place that many of us call home. Without these advancements in sailing and boat construction, our world would be completely different. Now let's look at another crazy maritime event. Ferdinand Magellan and his crew were the first to circumnavigate the world in 1522. The world, thought to be vast and unknown, became a lot smaller in the eyes of many. As time went on, humans created bigger and faster, more impressive watercrafts. Sailing has come a very long way in a very short period of time. So now that we know a brief history of boats, doesn't that make you wonder, why do boats float? Seriously, like what keeps it from sinking to the depths of the sea? Well, it's actually a little thing called buoyancy. Buoyancy, the power to float or rise in a fluid, relative lightness. Okay, that's somewhat helpful, but let's see buoyancy definition number 2. The power of supporting a body so that it floats. Upward pressure exerted by the fluid in which a body is immersed. That's better! So what it's saying is that if the upward force from the displaced water is larger than the downward force from the weight of the boat, it will float. Essentially, anything can float if you can balance these forces. If a boat weighed a lot, but was very small, it would most likely sink. If the boat was large and weighed a lot, it actually has a greater chance of floating. This explains how large ships like aircraft carriers don't sink. Considering some of these ships weigh up to 200,000 pounds, it's quite impressive. Other floating superstructures, like oil rigs, actually rely on the same basic physics principles to stay afloat. Some of these deep-sea oil rigs actually take buoyancy to the next level. Through a series of buoyancy tanks, they can actually raise or lower the platforms at will. Though these are some of the most impressive floating superstructures, there's actually been news of a new kind of superstructure. The Seasteading Institute has announced its intent to build a floating city. This is a revolutionary concept that could change life as we know it. Without surprise, it works just like a boat, using its buoyancy to keep it afloat. The Seasteading Institute plans to strike a deal with a coastal country. This will help to create a mutually beneficial environment. The floating city will have security and also a generous amount of political freedom. Those are just some of the exciting details that we will see unfold in the future. Boats. So simple, yet so impressive. All of this relies on the simple laws of physics that humans have been taking advantage of for over 8,000 years. Well, that's all I have for you today, folks. If you want to hear about a specific topic, feel free to leave a comment or tweet at us. In general, to stay up to date on the science world, feel free to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe on YouTube. I'm Hayden Burkholder, and that was 300 Seconds of Science. So go out, enjoy life, and stay curious.